Hey, it's Sean at Click Theory here, and we are in an Odoo account answering another question today. And today the question I got was actually, Sean, your video confused me on how to buy in one unit of measure and sell in another unit of measure. We're going to try to do the best we can today. So I've taken a copy of this product. This is a real-world product. I just changed the pricing and removed the supplier. We'll just add that in. The way Glenn had this set up, he was actually very close already. I'm not sure about his pricing. Glenn, the pricing you had in there, I'm not sure if that was the price for the case or the price for each roll in the case, but by the time I'm done this, you'll understand how to price it. The units of measure here for purchase and the default unit of measure are right here on the general tab on the product form. And if you're wanting more detail on exactly what the difference is here between these and the other units of measure we're going to look at, which are on this screen here under packaging, just on the same channel, look for the video for buying in one unit of measure and selling in another. That's going to give you full detail on what each of these are. We'll cover some of it here, but it's going to be easier for you to watch that one. And then if you're still confused, you can come over here and you can see an actual real world example. This kind of has some mind-bending elements to it because Glenn purchases 30-foot rolls of putty sealing tape in cases of 16 and then sells them in one 30-foot roll at a time. So really, if you think about it, the ways that this could be purchased and or sold could be in length, because you could sell a part of a roll, or it could be just one roll that you're going to buy and sell in, or it could be one case, in this case, a case lot of 16. So that's where it starts to get kind of confusing. And then a next question that would probably come up is, well, what is the sales price? Is this for the whole roll? Is this per foot? What should I put in here for sales price? So we'll go through. It's actually pretty simple. Now, there's probably more than one way to approach this. This is what I think is the best way. Odoo is set up to be able to handle purchasing in one unit of measure and selling in a completely different unit of measure or in a package, so that really any scenario works. It might seem like it's confusing, but once you understand how it works, it's actually quite ingenious. So let's look at this. Unit of measure, what should be here for 30-foot rolls when you buy these in cases of 16 and you sell them one roll at a time? Well, your unit of measure, the default unit of measure, in this case, the best thing in my mind is to have units. And one unit is, you can see right here, one 30-foot roll. The purchase unit of measure, you might think, hey, we should be putting a purchase unit of measure of a case of 16. But if you think about that, that case of 16 is specific to this product. So if you started putting a purchase unit of measure for everything that you buy in a case of 16 or a box of 12 or a bag of 100, you're going to get a whole lot of units of measure here. And also Odoo automatically calculates the differences. So if you were to say have a unit of measure in feet and then you sold it in inches, Odoo calculates that. So it would start to get very confusing. So you wouldn't want to do that. The answer is you would want to leave this here as units. And if you're in North America, most of the time in North America, we're using each for the term for a unit. You could change the term if you want. You can go into settings, but that's outside of the scope of this video. So this is set up correctly. We're going to leave this in units, and one unit is simply what you see right here in the product name. It's one 30-foot roll. So how do we get that one 30-foot roll? And when you're selling this now, as long as one 30-foot roll is $250 and your purchase price of one roll would work out to $150, then this is also correct. This sales price should match the unit of measure on the same tab. But when you're purchasing these, you have to buy at least a quantity of 16, and you're buying it in one case. So let's go take a look at that. There's a couple of things to look at. So we look at inventory first, and we will go to the purchase tab as well. So in inventory, we can set up a package. So what we would have is a case of 16 30-foot rolls. Now you wouldn't necessarily have to write all of this out. You could just type case or case of 16 here. You can put all this detail in though if you want. It's only going to appear on this product. And that's really what this is. I was explaining that on the general tab, when you see the unit of measure, that's an account level unit of measure. Packaging is basically a product level unit of measure. So you can be very detailed here if you want in the name, and it's fine. Now the packaging type should just be a case in this case. And that case contains 16 units, units being 16 30-foot rolls. Okay, now the unit of measure, you're going to see you can't change it. And after you save, it's just going to automatically drop in your default unit of measure here. So there's purchase and sales. Now this package, Glenn is not selling cases of 16. He's selling them per roll. So the customer does not have to buy 16. We'll just uncheck sales. And now he has one package of 16 30-foot rolls, comes in a case. Of course, that case has 16 in it, and that's for purchasing. So you can save that. Now, if you went to strike a purchase order for this, you would already be able to order in a case of 16 units, and it would let you know that it wasn't a full case if you weren't doing that. So we'll look at buying and selling this product. What we're going to do, we'll head over to the purchase app, and we'll try purchase now. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you another thing we can do in the purchase tab here to make this even a little bit better, especially if you have more than one person. And in Glenn's case, he does. He has somebody managing inventory, but maybe Glenn set this product up. In this case, he was. And then he doesn't have to explain to his purchase manager that when they're ordering this, that they need to make sure they order it in a case of 16, because it'll already be really clear, which you'll see shortly. Now there's a couple other things we should set up here. I don't know what the weight of one roll is, but this weight should be at the default unit of measure. I'm going to say that that's maybe 2 pounds. It looks like things are imperial here, so this is going to be in inches, IN. I'll just hit enter there. And length and width are going to be the same because it's going to be a roll, right? So like a coil. So let's say that this roll is 10 inches. And the height, we already know. If you lay that on its side, it's 1 inch wide. So that's going to be 1 inch. And then this is going to be 10 again because it's a circle. There we go. So we got that set up. I'm just going to save this product. And now we're going to go over to the purchase app and we're going to see what it looks like to order this product. I'm going to use Control K and I'm going to tap / and just type PUR, and you can see purchase appears. I can just hit enter. And here we are in the purchase app. I'm going to strike a new PO. And we're going to say that our vendor is Wile E. Coyote, our test contact here for everything. And we're going to add this product. And I think I put it on the clipboard. Yes, I did. So there's the product. I'm going to hit enter. You can see here there's quantity of 1 unit. But of course, we need to make sure we order 16. So this is where we've set it up so we can order the packaging. So if there's packaging available, it'll be available in the drop-down list here. So you can see case of 16 rolls. So there's that package we set up. So we've enabled purchasing in a package of 16 units. Now, as soon as you try to select that package, it's going to let you know that, hey, this product's packaged by 16 units, you should purchase 16 units. And if you look back down here, it made it 6% of the package because we were ordering 1 unit. And it also corrected the math here. So 1 unit was close to 6%, and that's why that changed, in case that's confusing. So let's just click OK. So we got that warning. So that's great. We know that if we're ordering the package, we need to order 16. So you could either change quantity to 16 or you could just change package to 1 package and hit enter. And you will see that it now corrected it to quantity of 16 and it all works out. So all of the math is working. The unit price is 119 and then the entire case of 16 works out to 1,906. So that's all good. But like I was mentioning earlier, what if Glenn sets this up and then his inventory manager is ordering it and didn't notice that there was packaging available? So we would want to make sure that isn't missed. Let's take a look at that, because he could have ordered 1 unit, 1 roll, if he hadn't chosen the package here at all. So we're just going to cancel this purchase order. And we'll delete it as well. And then we're going to head back over to the products. So I'm just going to use my back button to go back to the product. Here we are. Let's set it up so that we make sure that when the inventory manager is ordering the product, they know they need to order 16 or one case, depending on how you want to look at it. So we're going to go to the purchase tab on the product here. And again, in our inventory, just a reminder, we've got our case of 16 rolls set up for purchase. So it's available, but we need to force that. So we'll go to purchase. We're going to add a line. We're going to put our vendor Wiley in here. And this quantity, if I hover over this, you can see there the field ID. It says min_QTY, meaning minimum quantity. So that's actually what this quantity field is. So the quantity based off, again, on the general tab here of units is 16. So everything is based off that. Everything is always going to be based off the default unit of measure and the purchase unit of measure. Okay, so quantity is 16. And the price would be, it's actually the same as cost here, $150. So $150 per roll. And that's everything. There are more tabs. You can set delivery lead time in days here if you want. And there are some other columns that you could add here if you'd like. And in fact, it might actually be handy to have that one on here, I would think, the units of measure. So we'll put that one on here. Okay, so there we go. So we've set up a minimum quantity of 16 units from this supplier at this price. Now, let's say the supplier sold bigger cases of 32 units at a better price. You would just add another row. You'd add Wiley here again, 32 units, and it would be a better price. And then you would want to go and also set up, if that's not two cases, that's one single case of 32, it's just a larger case, you'd want to go and also in inventory set up another package for that. Okay, so this is set up. I'm going to save the product. Okay, let's go and try to purchase this again now that we have our minimum quantity set up. Again, I'm going to use Control-K /PUR, enter, and we're in our purchase app. I'm going to strike a new RFQ here, and we're going to put in our supplier Wiley, hit enter, and I'll add a product. I'm just going to paste that product from my clipboard and hit enter. And look at that. Immediately, it puts in a quantity of 16 units. And in case that's confusing for the inventory manager, he actually already can see that it's a package of 16 30-foot rolls. So if we expand this over, you can see more detail there. So it all works out. All the math works out. We're always using the default unit of measure, whether we're purchasing or selling. And we will look at selling this before I end this episode. Unit price is $150, which works out to $2,400 for 16 rolls. So, works great. Let's take a look at selling this now. I will cancel this purchase order because we're actually in Glenn's live account here. Okay, so that's canceled, and I'll also delete it so he doesn't have to look at it. And let's take a look at selling this now. So let's head over to our sales app. I'm going to go Control-K /SAL and hit enter. And I'm going to strike a new quotation. We're going to sell to a Wiley this time. Now Wiley is not our supplier, but our customer. And we're going to add that same product. I'm going to paste it in there. I'm going to hit enter. And here you can see it does not default to a quantity of 16. And that's because the package that it was available in was for purchase only, and the minimum quantity was also only for purchasing. Now, is there packaging available? There is not. And that's because when we set it up, we had unchecked the box for selling it as a package of 16 units. Now, if Glenn wanted to also sell an entire case to somebody, he could actually also have that packaging as an option for sales as well. So he could sell entire cases. Another way, of course, Glenn could sell this is by the foot. So he could sell partial rolls. He would just set up a package as a roll and so on. Hopefully this is making sense now. So now when Glenn's going to sell this, if somebody wanted 4 rolls, they're going to pay $1,000. And what is that going to pull from inventory? That is going to pull 25% of a case lot, which is 4 rolls of 16, if my math is right. I think it's right. There you go. That's how you would buy a product in case lots of 16 rolls and how you would sell it in single rolls. I hope that's clear. If you have a similar scenario and you're still not quite sure how to set it up, you can always just leave a comment and I will take a look at it, and maybe I'll just make a video for you to help you set it up the best way for your case. Okay, thanks a lot. See ya.